These commentaries are to point out issues with people's video and provide criticism on top of that. Please do not go and attack the person being covered in this video. All jokes are meant to be taken as such and are not meant to be taken seriously. Also, if any of the artists of the fan art I show happen to see this video, leave a comment and I'll credit you in the description. So the context of this video is that a reviewer by the name of JMusic did a review of Limp Bizkit's debut album, $3 Bill, y'all. And for those of you who don't know, Limp Bizkit is a nu metal band formed in 1994, which I'm also a huge fan of, so much so that I consider them my favorite band. But anyways, like I said, Jay is reviewing their first album. Now I know this video is about a year old, but one, that wouldn't exactly make my points wrong, and two, other than two other videos that he made are also a year old, he hasn't really put any videos out since then, so why don't I tell him what he can improve on. So without further ado, let's begin.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
The first song, Pollution, brings up everything wrong with this album, is that it's fucking annoying. The guitar is tuned like crap, Fred Durst can't rap, he can't do a nu metal growl, he can't sing, or at least he chooses not to on this album.
Okay. Are you going to show any examples of these things? Like, not everyone's familiar with Limp Bizkit, and I'm not going to know this right away. It would be helpful if you showed clips to showcase how the guitars and vocals sound like crap. It's honestly not that hard to do. Also, call this a nitpick if you may, but Fred actually does sing on this album. If only by a little, but still. Hell, one of the tracks, Sour, has a chorus where Fred sings.
And everyone does their best, especially Fred Durst, to annoy you.
Back, break that fucking beat, back, you sucker!
You do realize that part of Pollution was played at the end of the track for a joke, right? The whole joke is that Fred keeps shouting back over and over again, while the rest of the band tells Fred to shut his ass up.
Fucking beat back, you sucker! Fucking sucker! Shut the fuck up!
You ignoring the context of this part of the song not only makes it seem like you barely paid any attention while listening to it, but it can also give a false point to your audience, as those who have listened to the album will probably think that this part was for the entire song, which is not the case.
The band also doesn't know how to work a transition, as none of the songs flow together, as it's just weird beginnings and weird endings and the regular songs in the middle. So it gets really annoying and irritating to listen to, as you saw with the last song. The next song, Nobody Loves Me.
Wait, Nobody Loves Me isn't the next track. The next track is Counterfeit. Oh wait, you're skipping songs? I mean, if you don't want to cover everything on the album, then that's understandable, but at least don't say that this is the next track, because you just skipped over two tracks, those being Counterfeit and Stuck.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
The Sour actually has a cool riff, but the songs ultimately just goes downhill when Fred Durst puts some of his corniest lines in this song.
Alright, can you give us examples? Can you give us examples? Like, I'm not even saying you're automatically wrong here, I'm just saying that it would be helpful if you gave us a few examples of what corny lyrics are in the song. You've shown earlier in the video that you do indeed edit, so you could have used that editor to at least show us some examples of corny lines from the song. You could have easily put in text or played a clip from the song. Otherwise, you're leaving your audience in the dark on how this is the case.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
And then yes, on their first album, they cover a song. They cover the only song people actually listen to off this album, if that's what Spotify's telling me. His cover of George Michael's Faith. And it's decent until they start doing the nu metal stuff. And then it just ruins it. Pretty sure George Michael wouldn't like it if in the middle of his song some angsty little teenager just said, "Get the fuck up!"
So basically, it's nu metal, so it's bad. Like, you don't explain on how this is bad or how Limp Bizkit handled the nu metal style poorly on this track, so why should I take this plan at face value? Anyways, that's all I have to say in this video. Let's move on to final thoughts. Jay, this video is honestly really mediocre. Do I think you're far from improvement? Well, obviously no. You're still new, seeing as how you've only made 3 videos so far. But if you want to get better, I'd suggest elaborating on your points and showing evidence where it's necessary. Anyways, that's pretty much it. This has been Slayer, signing out.